for making this purchase, guys. You guys are seriously so inspiring for me because Sharif, watching you, a business professional, someone who's been there and done that. Chris is sharing with me some of your accolades that you've accomplished already. It's inspiring for me to see, the wisdom and what you're gaining from this course, even though you've already, you've gone through so much already. And Alex, on kind of the flip side of that, you being newer to entrepreneurship, newer to business, kind of just getting your feet in the water here as an 18-year-old, it's inspiring for me to watch you come up with the money to invest into Solomon, because most people your age are too busy worrying about where and when the next party is, what they're doing later on today with their friends, and they don't really have a focus or a vision into the future. Unlike you, in which you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about your next move and your next step, and it's inspiring for me to watch you step into something so great at such a young age. That's what I wanted to say to kick this thing off. So, Shavs and Stapes, Shavs, just to fill you in a little bit, Stapes and I were talking before this, and what we're going to do is we're just going to rattle off, Stapes and I are just going to rattle off questions for these guys as to maybe why they bought, some hurdles that they had to overcome while buying, etc. And what we're going to be able to do is just kind of get their responses, see what's going on, and we'll just go back and forth. So, Stapes, you want to kick it off for us here with whatever question comes to mind?
Yeah, awesome, guys. I just want to thank you. Can you guys see my screen okay? Is it a little weird right now?
It looks like you're in a 3D movie.
Yeah, fully.
All right, can you see me now?
Yeah, that's better.
It's so awesome to see you guys here now in the Solomon community, in the Solomon game, I guess you could say, because like Tyler was saying, seeing someone like Alex just getting started in like the real meat of life, like 18 years old, just getting out of high school, ready to invest in already invest in his education on a higher level, not just college. And then seeing someone like Suri, who's built a great business before in the financial industry, just a high level professional guy. Suri's done $60,000 on a single webinar before. He's at one of the most high level marketing weekly masterminds from a high-end mentor, Vince Reed. So he's in the trenches, and he's buying Solomon. And it's just so unique to see these two worlds come together and how they mesh so well, and the wisdom that Mark provides in this course changes lives. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your life. I've owned Solomon for about 3 or 4 years now, and like I was telling Tyler yesterday, when I watched Solomon as a 25-year-old, it hit me. But when I picked it up, just recently, I kind of rekindled the fire for Solomon, just with everything going on in my life and lifestyle design and everything that's happening. I rekindled the passion for Solomon, started going through it, and it's almost like an entirely new course, because I have a different set of eyes, I have a different set of ears, I have a different heart. I feel differently about where I'm at in my life, and I feel like I'm literally going through a new course. So I love how there's a widespread diversity of people here, and I'm just excited to kind of hear your guys' stories. I know you're fresh right into the gate of Solomon. The gates have opened for you just last week, so you're only in the first couple of videos, but I want to hear from you guys personally, and maybe we can just start with Suri, because Suri, I'm friends with you. We've been working together for a few weeks, and I know you're in the middle of a mastermind right now. So Suri, welcome to the party. For those who don't know Suri, you're going to get to know him because he's a sharp guy. We're working closer together, but he just purchased Solomon. He was on vacation in Cambodia. Can you guys hear me, or are you guys getting feedback?
We can hear you. How about this? When people aren't talking, can we all mute ourselves just because there's this beeping going on while Chris is talking, and I think that'll help.
Thanks, guys. Well, Suri just hit me up when he was in Cambodia and Hong Kong traveling with his wife. He does this thing where he travels. He set a goal to himself where he wants to travel with his wife 3 times a year. He wants to take these mini retirements where he completely disconnects from business, and he goes and recalibrates in different parts of the world with his wife. I think it's brilliant. We love it. And I think Mark actually talks about that in Solomon, why that's important. But he hit me up a week ago. He said, Chris, I'm in Cambodia right now. When I come back, I'm getting Solomon. And that was his personal message to me. We haven't really talked about Solomon that much. So Suri, can you unmute yourself really quick and just share with us, where were you at like in Cambodia? What stimulated you to message me? What was it about Solomon, Mark's content, like in your place in your life, in your business, whatever? What stimulated that message for you to just be like, you know what? I'm ready for Solomon. I want to step up my game professionally. I want to build my character. I want to step into this Solomon CEO, and I'm ready. What was that click? What kind of shifted for you?
I mean, before I left on the vacation, I was thinking about it.
Okay.
Because I honestly believe there's two things that I strongly believe in. Everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, and it's time we threw aside the rules that were set for us in the times of industrial revolution, where this 9-to-5 job concept was introduced to us. It's time for every one of us to be an entrepreneur, because that is the way to true freedom, financial or otherwise. And number two, if you're an entrepreneur, the success of your business is 100% completely dependent on the success of you as a person, because your business can't outgrow you as a person. You always have to be one step ahead of it, and the business will catch up to you. And the only way that can happen is if you have a proper mindset. And there's a lot of courses out there, there's a lot of mentors teaching it, but for you to truly, completely grasp what's out there for you, get a grip on it, and then seize it with 100% commitment, a course like Solomon helps. And that's what struck me when I saw it, because I've been through a lot of courses over the past 3 years trying to get to that level, because I have come to a level where I can only go so much and no more. I have come to that stage, and I realized in order for me to get to the next level of success in my business as an entrepreneur, I need to pick up pace, I need to grow as an individual, and I need to kick some of these limiting disbeliefs out of my system. And for that to happen, I believe Solomon will take me there. And I was replaying this message over and over in my head, and I have heard a few of Mark's videos, and it was all leading to that. And I thought, as soon as I come back, I'll have to tell Chris that this is where I'm going to.
I love it.
I believe that is the only way. And I mean, this course wasn't there when I was in my 20s. I mean, we didn't have internet when I was in my 20s. So that's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
But now that it is available, it's almost morally irresponsible on my part to not make it available to everybody who's out there. That's how I see it.
I love that, because I think everyone in this hangout right now has the same feeling, because me and Tyler just got off the phone before we were talking about this, and we were sitting there talking personally, privately, saying, Chris, like, if we don't bring this to market, if we don't share the message of Solomon, we are actually doing a disservice to everybody in our life, to our friends, to our family, to our Facebook followers, to our Instagram followers, to our audience. We are actually doing a disservice. So we believe this stuff, the stuff in Solomon, the stuff that actually transforms people's lives, are the preconditions of success to prepare them for an avalanche of wealth. So many people in the game want to make money online. They want to hit those $10,000 a month. They want to increase their leadership. They want to be an influential person in everybody's life. But they don't have the preconditions set. So they go out there and they get dirty with capture pages, which is fine. But we want to set you up to be as strong in your character and really set up your life in a way where your relationships are dialed in, your financial storehouse is dialed in, your communication, your beliefs, your character, all of that is stable to where you're prepared when you step into a marketing system. When you step into an affiliate offer, you have the groundwork and the concrete foundation to hold up all the weight of that success that's going to come to your way. So I love it, Suri. Thank you for sharing that. I would love to go deeper into your story, but we've got a few other people here, Tyler Tashiro, Chris Shabs, Alex. It's incredible. I mean, the stories that these guys have experienced through Solomon blows my mind. I mean, Tyler Tashiro, this guy, Tyler, did you find Solomon right around your Vima days?
Yeah, it was my first network, well, it was my only, I guess, network marketing company I've ever been in. It was my first taste of, it's not entrepreneurship, I guess it's intrapreneurship. I was just working for the company. And I found it when I was making like $1,000 to $1,500 a month in the company. and I applied it into my life, and it took me 90 days later to around the 7-8K a month mark. And it was because I was applying the principles and I was applying it. But what it actually did for me then is I used it as a backbone and as a platform for who I am today, with my morals, with my character, with how I run my business. And I don't want to say upgraded, but I left that network marketing scene for something, in my opinion, that would serve my own vision better, working with Mark hand in hand. And it's funny because there's a secret, I think it's secret 2 or 3 in Solomon CEO, called Crafting for Kings. And it talks about how to craft for the people that you want in your sphere, the kings in your sphere, whether that be marketing or whether that be logo designer. It doesn't even matter what it is. And I actually used that secret to craft for Mark that year. And ever since April of 2013, Mark and I have been working hand in hand in multiple different projects, Limitless being one of the big ones. And that's how Chris Shavs got introduced to the scene. That's how Stapes, you came back from the scene. But what I want to do right now is actually, Alex, I wanted to ask you a question really quick. So if you want to unmute yourself, that'd be awesome. Alex, you're 18 years old. You're taking that first step in entrepreneurship. But really what you're doing, and what I like about what you're doing, is even before you're really doing any type of entrepreneurial things, whether that be selling things on Craigslist maybe and flipping things, all the way to maybe some kind of marketing and affiliate product, what you're doing right now is you're building that foundation, which I love to see. And so my question for you is, as an 18-year-old, how'd you come up with $1,295 to pay for this product when a lot of people who are 25, 30, 35 years old make excuses on why they can't come up with the money? You're half their age coming up with the money. How'd you do that?
Well, I have a job at Vulcan Materials right now, and I've always known saving is important. I saved about $400 every 2 weeks, which is a little bit over half of my paycheck. And I realized the importance in education. I realized the importance of actually building your foundation, especially when I'm this young, because like as an 18-year-old, the earlier you learn something, the more embedded, the easier you can embed it into your unconscious, into who you are. And I feel like investing, and that's the key word here, I'm investing in education. I'm not just like Googling things online. This is like, these are organized principles that will help me out in life.
I completely agree with that, Alex. And the reason why, one of the reasons why I have a lot of respect for you, other than obviously you act and you behave like you're way older than you actually are, which is awesome. But what I like to see is, I like to see that even though you're your age, a lot of people think, well, I'm only 20, and then they use that as an excuse as to why they can't achieve, right? They use their own age as an excuse as to why they can't achieve. And the reason why we wanted to feature you today is because there are going to be people either watching this or in the future, maybe 5 years down the line, someone's going to watch this. You're going to show this to someone and say, look, I got interviewed 5 years ago when I was 18 as to why I brought this product, and this is why I'm showing it to you, because you're 18 today, and fill in the blank. And so it's going to be inspiring to see the lives that are transformed through your journey, and how many people you inspire without even knowing it, just because you made that first step. And so one of the things that I said on my Facebook post the other day, or yesterday, is I said, one of the most amazing things about Solomon for me is not only the transformations I've had in my life, but I've shared Solomon with about 30 to 40 people in the last 2 years, and it's watching those people transform. And so this is a really good segue right now. For Chris Shavs, I'd love for you to kind of share your journey and your experience. You have one of the craziest stories with Solomon CEO that I've ever heard, maybe the craziest. And I just wanted to give a little piece of wisdom. I want to drop a little bit of knowledge on people listening to this right now. Here's what I told Alex, and here is what I tell anyone that's on the fence. It doesn't even have to be Solomon CEO, but if you're ever on the fence and on investing into something for your own future and for your business, this is how I want you to think. For Solomon, it's about $1,300 to buy it. I told Alex, look, you have to have a vision for your own future that's so great that $1,300 is a joke. And I want you to laugh at $1,300 a year from now. I want you to look back and go, investing into Solomon, that's it. $1,300 is a joke. I can't believe I even contemplated that. Because personally, when I bought Solomon, I put it on a credit card, and I had $200 to my name, and it's, as you guys know, it's not $200. It's a lot more than that. And I put it on that credit card, and I told myself, look, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But if my vision for my is bigger than whatever price point you could put on it. I don't care if you put $1 million tag on it. My vision for my future is bigger than that. And so I'm not going to let this green piece of paper stop me from, you know, investing into my future. I'm not going to be scared of that investment. And so, Alex, you're awesome. Chris, why don't you take over the scene a little bit and kind of share a couple maybe befores and afters of your experience with Solomon CEO?
Of course. Thanks, Tyler. So I personally believe, you know, Solomon CEO had to be one of my best investments. You know, I truly know the definition of investments, you know, working with investments at one of the largest finance firms. I actually just invested in Ferrari today, the actual company Ferrari, a micro owner of Ferrari. But I mean, I kind of look back in October of 2013, did not know anything about money management, did not know anything about business, nothing about knowledge. At the time, I had a 1.8 GPA in school, literally skated every single day, so my time investment was directly invested into literally, you know, the repetition of skateboarding, and I was truly not defined and did not have too much vision within that specific industry. And this is the time where I got introduced to Solomon CEO. I was introduced to a few videos of Mark's work and stuff. And, you know, a lot of people let a lot of, you know, just amounts of dollars stop any vision. They just hear of the dollar amount and they're instantly stopped. They don't create a vision for what that product or whatever that could do for your own life. They're just stopped because money just is right before the vision, and it just stops your vision. And that's why successful people are more willing to invest in things that, you know, most average people are not willing to do. But, you know, like I mentioned, for 2 weeks, literally sacrificing meals, sacrificing parties with friends. And I used to, you know, go out with friends every single night and just spend money on, you know, like wine or like some weed or so. So, I mean, my money was going nowhere good. And so I had to sacrifice my own energy, because at the time, so the first week in which I, you know, got introduced to Tyler, got introduced to emerging entrepreneurs at that specific time, I actually did not have any income. And the first week that I, you know, took that leap of faith into investing into an entrepreneur organization with just, you know, bright minds all around me, that was the first time I ever got, you know, a source of income, or actually, you know, a job, basically receiving some income. And, you know, it was a professional skate instructing position, which I thought was one of the coolest things. At the time, it was super relevant to what I was kind of doing, but, I mean, the money was kind of still, like, very lenient. I wasn't making the most amount of money, but it was enough for me to be able to save $1,000 a week, and, you know, just literally save, or scratch that, like around $700 a week. And literally for 2 weeks, would skate miles on miles, and I'm talking like close to 50 miles 1 week, literally. So I would not have to spend money on gas. I would literally sacrifice meals, have 8 hours straight teaching kids how to skate, you know, just using all of my energy. So I needed some food to kind of just get my energy back. No, it wasn't happening, because I was literally willing to save every single dollar. Oh, friends would hit me up on a text. Oh, well, those were getting ignored, because I knew that personally that money was going to be spent if I went out with friends and stuff. So I was willing to do everything humanly possible. I was literally willing to die before I was not willing to invest in Solomon CEO. So I think when a lot of people come across, you know, dollar amounts, high dollar amounts, they just quit. But, you know, you should be willing to sacrifice your life before you quit. That's how bad you need to, like, want to succeed and stuff. But, I mean, just a few breakthroughs from Solomon. Sorry, I get kind of ahead of myself when I start talking about how much I saved, because, you know, savings and investing is really important to me. But at the same time, I mean, like I mentioned, I had a 1.8 in school, literally wasn't going anywhere with life. I thought skateboarding was the only route for me. And I've never really been introduced to any great teachers. My father passed away when I was 13, so I was a little bit unguided with life and stuff. Sacrificed 2 weeks, had the ability to invest in Solomon CEO. After going through all 7 secrets, I had the ability to, you know, just be mind-blown. I've never been introduced to any type of information like that. one semester of school went by. I went from a 1.8 GPA, and going through the information through Solomon CEO is just such high quality. The information is just above just any education system. I went from a 1.8 GPA to a 3.6 GPA in just one semester, and I knew, okay, well, Solomon CEO, if you this is literally the craziest level of information, and that's where I started getting, start implementing Solomon CEO into my daily life, being able to build better relationships with my family, being able to build better relationships with just friends that I'm now venturing on projects with, and another thing too, just being able to understand the concepts of business, understand the concepts of entrepreneurship, and now it's pretty crazy to look back at 2013, a broke, uneducated sponsored kid, to now a 19-year-old working for one of the largest finance firms, investing in all my money when I can. So a little bit of my story there.
Chris, that's awesome. Stapes, you got to unmute yourself. But Chris, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I just want to add a quick little thing before Chris Stapes, you hop in here. But Solomon, this is how I see Solomon. Solomon CEO is not only an info product, it's not only a course, but it's a portal. And so what it is it's here, and this is your current self, and as you progress through Solomon CEO, you become the higher, more educated, more confident, better version of yourself. But the craziest part is once you're in that mode, like Chris said earlier, like Stapes said earlier, like I went through Solomon for the first time when I was 19 years old. And then when I went through it again when I was 20, it's a different course. And then this year when I went through it again as a 21-year-old, it's not even the same course as it was when I was 19 because I'm the advanced version of myself as the first time that I went through it. And so it's a powerful thing. Stapes, I'm going to let you hop in here.
Awesome. I got two things. Number one, Shavs, like your story, we can't crush this into like a small little webinar, but it's been incredible to watch. Like you are completely different. You are a completely different person. And what I love about that is like you making the decision to step into your power and become the ultimate version of yourself. Like, and that's awesome. It's a selfish act. That's what we should be doing. We should be taking care of ourselves, our family first, right? But you doing that, Chris, I already have this feeling, this energy that you're affecting everybody around you. Everybody around you is starting to feel the shift, and you're actually attracting people like Caesar, who isn't on the line right now, but he invested in Solomon because of you. Like, the impact you're going to have on that guy's life, the impact that Solomon is going to drip into his life over the next year, 2 years, like, you changed that guy's life because you decided to take your own self serious and your own life serious. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, when you start really focusing on changing yourself, everybody around you is affected. And the second thing was, I had another idea here somewhere. Tyler, what were we talking about?
You're talking about Solomon as a portal, like using it as a portal to get to your...
Here's another thing. And I don't want to stretch this too long, Suri. I know you're a busy guy, and we promised 30 minutes or whatever. So here's the thing I want to talk about really quick, guys, and I'll bounce some ideas off you. We've got two different perspectives here. We've got the 18 to 20-year-olds that are entering life, entering the marketplace, and then we've got Suri on the other side of the spectrum who has a family, has kids, has businesses, has failed and has succeeded and has overcome many different obstacles to get where he is today. He's created a six-figure income in the marketing and the business world. I want to see the differences, and I want to see the perspectives on how the Solomon course specifically, and I know you guys just purchased it, but I want to hear kind of like, Suri, what's been your number one takeaway? And if you don't have it nailed down, like, don't worry about it. But if it's a feeling, if it's an idea, if it's a specific takeaway, like if it's a crafting for kings takeaway, if it's a speed of supremacy idea that Marx talks about, is there anything that really popped? And I know this stuff takes some time to kind of sink in, but I want to hear your perspective, and then I'd like to open up Alex and just see where he's at too, so we can kind of see how the Solomon CEO course is affecting different people at different times in their lives and why that's important. So Suri, can you kind of just hop on really quick and just share, like, you've watched the first two videos so far. what's been the ticker for you?
The biggest takeaway for me right now is you have to take action. And no matter how much knowledge you have inside you, you got to convert that potential energy into kinetic energy and get moving and get going. If you just watch all these courses, it's still not enough if you don't take action. And Solomon gives you the permission, the power to go and take action and believe in yourself that you can do it.
I love it, and I'm going to connect a proverb to that, which is inside the course. The hands of the lazy, or the hands of the diligent will rule. The hands of the lazy man will be put to forced labor. That's one of my favorite proverbs that Mark dissects inside the course, and that kind of connects Suri's idea and takeaway there. I love it. The speed of implementation. Speed is supremacy in life. And that's one thing Mark has instilled in me as an entrepreneur, as a man, as a friend, as a brother, whatever. Like, the speed of everything I do has been 10x'd. And I used to think a lot. I used to think and cultivate my ideas and sit and be like, this has to be perfect. I'm not going to do that until I have everything figured out. I'm done with that. And I'm making more money than ever. I'm making way more mistakes, which is actually creating more results in my life. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Alex, if you've got one takeaway, like, I know you're just getting into the course, you've gone through the first 3 or 4 videos. What's been like, wow, what's been that aha moment where you just sat there for a second, you're like, okay, this is gonna affect me. This is gonna change.
Well, actually, I did have several, and I talked a lot about the Crafting for Kings section with Chris and Tyler a lot. But actually, I want to talk about the secret number 1, the very first part of the video. It talks about expectation of speed, ease, and I believe it was comfort and pleasure. And to make that a metaphor, I kind of like thought of it as riding a bike to get a certain point and inevitably getting tired versus riding a Ferrari, getting there faster, getting there more efficiently, and it's far more pleasurable. And I believe, like, it's hard to explain. If you
Don't worry about it. I mean, this stuff. This is some deep, heavy, holistic, grounding material that, like, it took me. It really, honestly, I mean, if you want to be completely honest, like, the first time I went through Solomon CEO, like, I wasn't in a place where I can even, like, really just. I was just like, I just want to make money. That's where I was. I want to make money.
It allowed me to see, like, if you expect all of those things to happen, when you expect them to happen, you actually start embodying those things and you start attracting them into your life. And I thought that was a little bit of an aha moment for me, and that was really powerful. So I'd say that would be my number 1 takeaway so far.
Yeah.
Alex, that is amazing. Real quick, Caesar Garcia has joined us in the party today. Yeah. Caesar, what's going on, man? Just to give you guys a little intro to Caesar, Alex, thank you for sharing. Dude, you're inspiring, and you know what, man? I'm telling you, you're going to have incredible breakthroughs from this course, but what's going to be even more amazing is a year from now, you're going to look back and go through the course again. 2 years from now, you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to have these oh my gosh moments, and you're going to sit down one day and you're going to go, thank God I did that when I was 18. Because if I did that when I was 21 or 25 or 30, I would have only set myself back that many years. And so your leadership, Alex, even though you may not realize it, is amazing in the sense that you are leading from the front lines and inspiring people. And so, Caesar, why don't we wrap up with this, guys? We're going to ask Caesar one quick question here. Caesar, so pumped you can join the party. We're going to ask you a quick question before we get out of here. Or a quick question and a half to 2 questions. Here's my question for you, Caesar. You're 21 years old. You're ambitious. You're ready for that next step and that next level in your life. Why did you buy? And not only why did you buy, but what's your vision for this course? What do you see this doing for you?
Can you guys hear me? You guys hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes.
My vision with this course is, I just wanted to kind of say I'm sorry for being late, guys. It's not really me to be late, but just wanted to say hi to everybody. It's nice to see Alex, Chris Stapleton. It's been a while, man. I miss you. I missed your face. It's beautiful. I want to pinch your cheeks right now. Same thing with Chris. Chris's face is like all in my screen right now, so it's like I tell him every time it's like a hard on, and then Tyler, I just can't, dude. It's hard. I left my sock across the room. I don't know what to do anymore. But yeah, all right. Well, and like I said, how's it going, guys? Good afternoon. Solomon CEO, what it's done for me, the course in general, and just Limitless in general, is just it's provided me with such a broad aspect. It opened up my mind. It gave me so much more clarity than what I had before. Just walking into this program and just community in general. I was ambitious, but I didn't have the right tools in hand. I didn't have the right people to be around. I didn't have the family and the bonds that Limitless and Solomon CEO, as I'm going through the modules now, I never had that, and it's really comforting, and it's really good to know that I have that backup from you guys, that I have that sense of family with myself, and just being around people that are ambitious is just that much more motivating to do more than just an expectation. You know what I mean? It's like it's good to have a good expectation, but it's better to have an excellent or a greater expectation. You know what I mean? So it's like seeing you guys progress motivates me to be like, you know what? I can do that too. Let me get to that next level. Same thing, like if you guys see me progress, Chris or whoever, it's gonna be like, you know what, he's doing good. What's the next step? What's my other breakthrough that's gonna come around? Just like in the first module from Solomon CEO, there's always that corner. You're almost at that corner. You're about to turn. You're about to get your big breakthrough right there. And it's not just one. It's one after another after another. And one thing that Solomon, the first module Solomon CEO taught me is that, you know what, you got to chase that dream. There's never, you can't be lazy. You can't sleep on something. And it's something that Limitless itself, just the regular program, said as well. People that are lazy will have a hard time. People that are ambitious and willing to embark into that very, very, even though it may be long and hard, but if they're willing to embark in a journey, if they're willing to take a risk, they will get the rewards. They will get like that treasure. And it's like, in a sense, like when you see like Knights Templar, they fought for religion and they fought for treasure. Like pirates, they fought for treasure. They went and embarked days and days at sea, and the sea isn't forgiving. Nature isn't forgiving whatsoever. But at the end of the day, they got to their goal. And what was that goal? Gold, riches beyond their wildest imaginations. Solomon CEO and Limitless provides the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is golden. And with that knowledge, you can build an empire. You can build a foundation. And with that foundation, the sky's the limit. Sky is the limit.
Well, Cesar, I want to hear a little bit more in depth of like how you, like, what was the first exposure of Solomon CEO? And I think Sari, what he wanted to touch on, you said something that kind of like, he wants to add something to what you just said, and then we're going to actually let Sari continue his mastermind. Are you in California? Wherever you're at, he's at a great mastermind right now. So we're going to let Sari kind of close up his case, and then we're going to open you back up, Cesar, because I want to hear more about what you're saying. But Sari, let's hear your last hurrah about Solomon and what you got on your mind, and then we'll go ahead and let you go, and we'll close up this whole deal.
Thanks. And sorry, Cesar, I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
No worries.
But what I meant to say is, I see this panel of young kids getting their level of game up and then shining their brightest stars out there. And so I feel a little ancient to be on this panel, but I'll use it to my advantage because I've got the experience to do so. And people always take time for granted. Time always comes and goes, and there's always that tomorrow that you can do this. So you tend to postpone the tough stuff, the things that make you uncomfortable, you try to push it off. That's the human tendency. That's how we are naturally born to believe to be doing. But what would happen if you couldn't wake up tomorrow and go after your dream? The last thought in your mind, would you be regretting what all you have not been able to do? Or would you rather live a life where you are pursuing your passion every single moment and going after it? And people who are looking at this at some point in time and thinking, I'm too old to get onto this right now. Maybe I should be in my teens or in my 20s. I would say, go after it. It's worth it. 6 months will pass by before you know. You already have spent so much time in your life feeling miserable, feeling bad about what you haven't been able to do, isn't it time? Don't you owe it to yourself to go and take that one extra step and invite Solomon into your life? I think it's completely worth it.
Mm.
It's more than an investment. It's reinventing yourself, your life, and I think you owe it to yourself.
Love the closing statement, Suri, man. You're such a blessing to have you in our circle and have you start integrating into Solomon, and we've got some awesome plans to expose what we have here to the world and to the marketplace. So it's exciting. Thank you so much for joining our Google Hangout here. You're a huge asset, and you're an awesome guy, and you're a professional, and you're just a good guy. And
yeah, thank you, Suri. Seriously, it's been an honor to be on this thing with you.
So we're gonna let you go.
Thanks for having me, and hopefully there's a recording I'll get to watch everybody of you later, because I don't want to miss this conversation, yet I've got so much work to get done here. So
yeah, go get it done. Tell Lori Conrad we said hi, and tell Vince Reed the Mark Hoverson clan sends our best wishes, okay. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And Tyler, I know you had some ideas for how we're going to end this thing, so let's touch on that. But really quick, I want to touch on Caesar, because Caesar, like, just hats off to you, bro, for coming into the scene and like investing into Solomon. You are going to change your life, and it's cool to be a part of it. Let me ask you this, and then Tyler Tashiro, I'm going to let you kind of wrap it up. So here's the deal. What inspired you to get into the world of Solomon? And I know, and I want, and if it's Chris Shavs, I want you to say that, because we were just talking about how Chris Shavs, when he made the decision to step into his power as an individual and as a leader and as an influencer in the marketplace, he actually started changing the things around his life and changing his world. I was telling him, and I truly believe that is what's changing other people's lives around him. So is it something that Chris did? Was it something that you saw in Limitless maybe? What was it that was like, Solomon CEO is my next step? Is it kind of get specific with it if you can, but I would think that would help a lot of people watching this, because it's going to kind of open them up to what's possible and how they can kind of get, and we're going to invite some people in to work with Solomon with us. So this would be a great kind of like opener for that.
Yeah, one thing that really inspired me to get and invest into Solomon, that told me that was the next step, is what Chris was telling me. And me, Chris, and Tyler, we were talking about this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of days ago, about Solomon CEO. But Chris really touched in on how Solomon changed his life and how much he progressed and how much he took in from it. So it was just kind of like, you know what? Like I wanted that too. I want to get to that point. I want to get to where I can take an amount of information and convert it into something great, something better, for improvements in my life. And then while it was Chris and Tyler the other day when we were talking about it, Tyler told me the same thing too. He was like, you know what, Solomon CEO was that next step. It was that stepping stone, that push to where it got him closer to his goal, to where he wanted to be later on. And it's like, you know what, 2 testimonies from 2 leaders, and 2 people that I trust and that I care about dearly, just like I do everybody in the Limitless community. It meant a lot, and it was a lot of support for me, in a sense. So it's like knowing that it changed their lives made it comfortable for me, and it told me that, you know what, this is the next step. This will happen. There's no question of it may happen, it will happen.
Mm.
And Caesar, I remember using that exact quote when we were talking. You said, this is that stepping stone for me. You felt like this is Solomon CEO is your stepping stone to get to that next level, and I believe it is 100%.
Can I add something real quick, Tyler?
Yeah. Dive in.
I just remember talking to Caesar the night before he made his investment with Solomon, and we were kind of talking about a project he's been kind of working on and kind of getting a little bit of education on, which is basically mineral rights on time. And as soon as he brought that one concept up, a secret from Solomon CEO 10 million plus just really hit me. And it's called minimum maximum. And Caesar basically kind of was the victim of the thing, like the wrong route, I would say. And I knew this was the exact investment for Caesar that's going to save him thousands of dollars, because he was basically talking about how he was going to invest a good amount for like a big result. And one of the things that's taught in Solomon 10 million plus is you don't necessarily need to invest hugely to get a huge reward and stuff. That's what a huge mistake a lot of people go through. So, you know, it's just such a blessing to be able to, you know, introduce this to you, Caesar, because I know 100% from my heart that Solomon CEO is not just going to have a huge breakthrough for you. It's not just going to increase your relationships, increase your success, but it's also going to save you thousands of mistakes and thousands of dollars. So I just wanted to just talk about that. And, you know, it's just truly a blessing to be able to prevent a lot of things from happening, you know.
Amazing share, Chris. I think I couldn't agree with that more. And Stapes, I think we should wrap this up here. Chris, Shavs, Alex, Caesar, I think we should wrap this up here. I want to drop a little closing thought here. And it's that if you guys are watching this right now and you feel inspired and you feel like Solomon may be the next step for you, maybe you've been sitting on the edge of purchasing it for a while, and maybe this is your first exposure. But whether or not that, you know, whatever case it may be, if internally, like, your gut tells you this is the next step for me, then I want you guys to be able to take some action here. And of course, Alex, we can wrap up here with a closing thought from you. But I want to say this. You guys deserve to do it, like Sari was saying. You guys deserve to take that next step. And like I said earlier, your vision has to be bigger than a monetary value. Your vision for yourself and your future and your success has to be so deep that when something is presented to you, you're not looking at the value that it costs to purchase that and invest in it. You're looking at that as the value that it can provide for your own life. And there's a big difference there. And so, like I said, if you guys are on the fence, I want to encourage you guys to do it and to reach out to either Stapes or Chris Shavs or myself or whoever showed you this recording here. You know what I mean? If you guys are on that edge right now, I really encourage you guys to go for it. And from the bottom of my heart, I can tell you that it's going to be one of the best investments that you've ever made in your entire life. It's been the best investment I've ever made, and it holds true 3 years later. So,
yeah. You hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Alex, do you want to say something?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, video 1 to Solomon CEO, something that I didn't mention earlier was, it was something that I was meaning to add on to Serene's statement, saying that, like, you need to take action. At the foundation of everything, action is what gets you experience. And level 1, or video 1, kind of got me thinking, like, what makes us procrastinate on the hardest things? And I believe that's because we're always looking for, like, this now thing, like this instant gratification. I believe that we need to do what's hardest first thing, get it out of the way, and, like, the rest of the day will always be a breeze. And Mark didn't say that directly in Solomon CEO, but based on what he said, I kind of interpreted things in my own way, and that's kind of the message that I got from, one of the messages that I got from that video.
Yes, 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 yes. I mean, if you looked at me 3 or 4 years ago, I was the type of guy that I would make a decision to do something, and then I would immediately create a time gap between actually doing it because I was comfortable, and the hardest thing for me was to get started. I was a thinker. I'm an internal guy where I think. I went through Solomon, and that time gap shut. And now I actually act. Like, if you make a decision to do something and immediately create a time gap between actually doing it, it's a very, very shaky habit, and you will stay stagnant in your life like no other. I can tell you that from proof. I did the same job, I was in the same relationships, lived in the same house, did the same thing for 4 freaking years because I wasn't an action taker. And I'm telling you this, guys, if you're watching this video and you have any kind of want or desire or something in your heart says, man, Solomon, I think can really affect me. I think I'm ready for Solomon. I want to learn more about Solomon. and then you immediately kind of back away and you're like, well, it'll happen if it happens. Don't do that. And I'm going to give you guys a special offer today. Whoever's watching this video, and if you want to step into a little bit more of Solomon's world, I'm going to give this on my personal time, Tyler. You guys can do the same thing. You feel free. But if you're watching this video and you want to learn more about Solomon, I'm going to give you guys a 15-minute strategy session where I'll actually open up the first Fast Action Solomon CEO Action Guide. And I will go through the first action guide with you absolutely free. And I'll actually open up the course on like a Google Hangout. We can actually go through a video, some of the content together as I handhold you through, and I'll show you the back office. I'll show you the videos. I'll show you the levels, because I believe this course can change your life. I really, truly believe that. So I'm going to open up a 15-minute strategy session for anybody who wants to learn more about Solomon, Tyler Tashiro, Chris Shavs, Alex, Caesar. If you guys are on the same page, throw a thumbs up and we'll rock this party, because I believe that that's going to really get you guys into, like, we want to open the door. We want to open the door, allow you guys to look at some of the stuff we have to offer. I'm not even talking about the brand new custom Solomon CEO journal with silver lining that you're going to receive when you invest in the course. I'm not talking about the 1 ounce pressed custom Solomon CEO coin. That's going to be a memorabilia piece that you can pass on to your grandkids, and you can talk about the day you started changing, you started shifting, you started growing as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, as a marketer, as a leader, as a father, as whatever you want to be. And we're not even talking about the physical deliverables, guys. You guys get some cool stuff you're going to keep for the rest of your life when you purchase this course. So, does anyone have a Solomon CEO journal that they can bust out for the camera? Chris Shavs, I know you got it.
Oh yeah, that's the Space Age journal too. We have a couple versions here.
That's the Space Age journal. Chris, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
So you can blow up on the screen and you can kind of show how important is this journal to you and how often you use it.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is so important that not just any ideas, not just any thoughts, not just any scribbles go in this journal. I mean, if you open this full thing, this is my exact transformation. As you can see, like, this thing has crucial notes, you know, about my first stock investments. Towards the end, I have some of my biggest accomplishments towards 18, the first stock investments I've made, you know, getting a job at one of the largest finance institutions, being able to, you know, and this is not just any journal that, you know, like I mentioned before, has any average idea. This is literally my breakthrough where I could hand down to my kids, and my kids are going to be like, Dad, or, you know, this, it's kind of weird saying that, but, you know, this is going to be like, holy crap. And, you know, Da Vinci, Bill Gates had to invest a lot of money to get Da Vinci's journals. I want the same thing with this journal. I want someone to say, I'm willing to invest $20 million for Chavs' journal. I need it now, because there are secrets in there that are going to just allow me to become the next billionaire, next whatever it is.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, I really want to emphasize how amazing some of the tangibles that you guys are going to get when, like, Caesar and Alex, it's on the way. You know what I mean? You guys are getting that coin in the mail, and that coin is something that I'm going to be so happy to show my future children. I'll show that coin off to my family members right now, and they'll ask me, like, Tyler, what does this mean? And I'll let them know this is actually what changed my life. You know what I mean? This is actually what took me from where I was to where I wanted to be. And then even more so with the journal. The coin's awesome. I do think that journal, though, it's going to be a power piece. There you go. It's right there. Chris, you want to say something?
You guys can't see this. I'm going to talk so you guys can pop it, so it can pop up on the screen. It looks like I'm frozen, though. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, so this coin is a 1 ounce pure cut pressed steel silver ounce coin, and it's going to come in a plastic case as well. So it'll be like airtight. You'll be able to take it out, feel it. What I like about the coin and what I use it for, Tyler, is I like to have it right by my desk side when I'm producing. I like to actually hold it in my hand when I'm thinking of ideas. I like to have it set on top of my journal. I like to have it in my presence, like in my workspace, in my creative space. It's a symbolism of wealth. it's a memoir of a decision. It's a memoir of like stepping into my power as a marketer, as a businessman, increasing my character. It's something that I will have forever. It's like even though like the 1 ounce coin will probably be worth like actually real money one day, like hard asset, it's unbelievably priceless to me. Like you can buy that coin for $1,000 from me. And I believe, and stepping into the journal conversation, and then we'll wrap this puppy up, is I really truly believe as a millionaire, as being a future millionaire, as all of us step into our power and as a millionaire, like in our 30s, in our early 20s, whenever you guys hit that, and we can look back in the past, I think as a full-grown adult with family and our grandkids and our wives or whatever, our journals are going to be worth more literally than our house, than our mortgages, than our real estate that we have, than our stock, than our shareholders. Like our journals are everything. And it's who you are, represents who you are, represents your transformation. Like Mark's journals are his most prized possessions. And I don't think Mark's the only millionaire that believes that.
No,
so,
and to dive in there really quick, I was at Vince Reed's house last year sometime, and he said if someone took every single dollar that I had to my name right now, I would make, I could go out and I could make hundreds of thousands of dollars next month just because of what I have up here. All I need to do is get a computer and some internet. And so I think that relates to the journal too. I think that journal, like you're saying, Chris, it's my journals. I filled up a few different Solomon journals now because I'm going through the course consistently a couple times a year, and I'm gaining different things from it. And those journals to me are some of my most prized possessions. You couldn't put that journal over really any tangible thing that I own today. I would rather have that journal because that journal is not only the wisdom and the information, but like Chris Shavs was saying, it's our journey. It's actual documentation of what we became. And so to wrap it up a little bit here, I also want to give you guys the offer. If you guys are watching this as a recording, I'd love to sit down with you guys for 10 to 15 minutes on a phone call. And maybe it's just because you're on that fence. For me, before I bought, it took that little extra push of someone that already had it saying, Tyler, just do it, man. Just do it. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And so a lot of people can't make big-time decisions, especially financially, if they're not consulted at least on a little level by people that they respect. And so if you guys are sitting on that fence, or maybe you're ready to go for it, I want to hop on the phone with you for 10 to 15 minutes, show you what it's all about, get a little deeper into my story, into the stories that I know of that Solomon and how Solomon impacted people, and really connect with you guys on that level. So please take me up on that. Take Shavs up on that, take Stapes up on that, and Alex and Caesar, you guys will be in the same position sharing your story, sharing your journey pretty soon here. But with that, guys, thank you so much for being on the Google Hangout. We appreciate you guys like insane amounts. And we look forward to seeing you guys inside Solomon CEO. We look forward to seeing you guys inside our next Solomon CEO Mastermind. Shavs and I are putting together a live event around Solomon CEO. December 4th and 5th of this year, 2015. And then next year, we're going to do a bigger event with Solomon CEO, in which Stapes, myself, Bryce, and Shavs are going to be doing it in Arizona, a one-day event. We're going to be welcoming you guys into Mark Hoverson's actual house. We're going to take you through a tour of what he's got going on there. And this is for people that are willing to take that next step. So Alex and Caesar, you guys are welcome to come to that too. More details on that later. But Stapes, any closing thoughts here before we wrap up? Shavs, any closing thoughts?
I just believe in you guys, and I just love the caliber of insight and hunger and drive that Alex, Caesar, Chris, Tyler, you guys are all putting to the table. Suri, I tell you the same thing. Like, this is a great group, and I'm really excited to open up our circle and kind of feel out the market and just attract the perfect people for Solomon and really create a family around Solomon that carries through all the obstacles, all the challenges. Like we are overcoming so much together as a community in business together that it's mind blowing. Like every kind of challenge we overcome together. And I think Solomon is what thickened our skin, at least for me, is like without Solomon I probably would have gave up a long time ago. So I'm just blessed to see the stories roll out. I'm blessed to have you guys in the life, and I can't wait to see what happens over the next few months. You start implementing it, you're going to notice a lot of nuances. You're going to notice you're communicating a little bit differently. Your shoulders are a little bit back. You're more confident. You're attracting different relationships. You're getting random phone calls out of nowhere that are connecting pieces of the puzzle in your business and your life. Things are, I'm not going to say, like, I don't want to use the cliche magical because that just sounds weird, but I'm telling you, when you start consuming this kind of stuff, nuances, circumstances, things pop out of nowhere. Like, I thought that stuff was like fake. Coming into the world now, like where I'm at in my life, the past 6 months, the past year, it's been incredible. And I give a lot of the credit to Solomon CEO. So I'm just excited to see you guys blow up. I'm excited to be in your circle. Thank you so much for coming out. And I love you guys. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You guys have any closing comments?
I just wanted to say something real quick, just kind of touch for people that are watching the webinar and against Sullivan CEO, and just adding on to what Tyler said. Your future should not be limited to a dollar amount. You know what I mean? It's one thing that me and Tyler agree on, and Chris too, is that life's about taking risks, you know, and when people don't take risks, they kind of stay at bay. You know, you can't always be in a comfort zone where everything's going to come to you. You got to go to it. One big thing that I told Tyler as well that he agreed with me was you have to live on life's terms. Life doesn't live on your terms. You know, so you are what you make your life, and you can grow big and be whatever you want to be within life's terms. It's just a matter of how much do you want it and what are you willing to do it. So, I mean, I would encourage a lot of people that want to get involved in the Solomon, and people that want to take that next step to, you know, take into consideration whatever amount you're going to give for Solomon will come back to you. Money comes and goes. It is not a material that you should be holding on to and thinking it won't come back to you and it's forever lost. It's just, especially when it's for your future, it's something you can't put a price on someone's future, let alone your own. You know, so I mean, just for people watching this, Chris, Shavs, and Tyler, they're living examples of what investing in your future will lead to once you give your all, once you give 100%, because these guys are leaders. They're leaders. That's no better way to put it. They're the alpha dogs, the big dogs that, you know what, they took something small and created it into something big. So that this right here, this is no gimmick. This is nothing that's not being taken serious. This is completely serious, and this is something that obviously they're willing to work with. So that's more than enough to say that, you know what, this is real.
Thank you, Caesar, for that. And I mean, I appreciate you guys coming on here. Suri, as you're watching this recording, thank you for hopping on in your busy schedule. Shavs, Stapleton, thank you guys a ton for what you guys do in regards to pushing this brand forward. It deserves to get in the hands of everyone. And by everyone, I mean, like, seriously, it deserves to be in the hands of more people. So with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I have to hop on another call, actually, right now. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Stapes, I'm getting it uploaded on my side. I know you're getting a recording on your side. So we should be up and running pretty soon here.
All right, guys. Have a good day. Kill it.
Peace out.